See, the real estate industry in India today is doing quite well. India is in fact growing, at 7.8% GDP growth recent quarter, and real estate has a big role to play. So fortunately, real estate plays a big part in the Indian economy, and the government has got a lot of focus on housing. Plus, there are a lot of commercial buildings that are now coming up post-COVID. There are a lot of hotels which are in demand. A lot of hospitality sector is picked up, and also the hospitals. We've learned something that it's very important to have world-class infrastructure in hospitals. So with that as the background, the real estate industry is doing well. Like all other many industries are doing well, but real estate is doing a little better than, I'll say, many of the other industries. And for our industry, the elevator and escalator industry, or the vertical transportation industry, we follow what real estate does. So we are also doing quite well and growing at a growth rate of 10% plus. Well, if you look at the growth rate today, if it is 1.1 lakh, I wouldn't know what exactly the number of dwellings that are coming up. But if you say so, and you take a growth rate, I think in the next 6-7 years, yes, of course, that's how it would be. There is housing for all, which is coming up. There are luxury houses that is coming up for people who need luxury houses. There are middle income groups that are now aspiring to go one step higher. So, all sorts of residentials are now in demand. The culture of work is changed. A lot of good, high quality commercial buildings coming up. And more importantly, there are a lot of convention centers coming up. A lot of meetings, big meetings happen. We just saw one in G20, which, Pragati Maidan, again, a world-class place, the Geo Center in Mumbai, for instance, that has come up. And many such centers are slowly coming up as, great places again. And they are all part of the real estate, if you look at it. So I think it will do that. Yeah, firstly, Anita, I'm really thrilled, and we all are thrilled to be a part of this Smart Lift and Mobility World 2024, which you're all coming up with. It's a great place to actually show cutting edge technology, not only from us, but from a lot of our vendors, suppliers, other manufacturers as well. And therefore, I think, one of the things that we have to do is ensure that the visibility is high. And that's for you to make sure. You have to ensure the visibility of the innovation and products are high. You need to have, I don't know if you're already planning, but I'm sure you are, some innovation technology seminars that need to be held as well. So from our perspective, that's important. We will showcase our innovation. Pune is one of the most innovative companies in the world, not only for elevators, escalators, but for all industrial products. We've been in Forbes 8 times in a row as 100 most innovative companies. So we do our best to have more innovation. But from our perspective, I think it's also important that we showcase something for the industry, for the community, and for our end users. So there'll be a lot of innovation that we're going to showcase on safety and quality. And that is extremely important for the end user today. Our primary objective would be to showcase our high-tech innovative products. So our core message is that we need to innovate to ensure that our customers have value-added features that help them with their peace of mind, which is safety, which is quality, and innovation in an elevator itself, although you go up and down, but there should be some creativity in an elevator that people should really enjoy getting in and not be a little worried, right? So that enjoyment should be there. Should there be good traffic calculations? Should there be certain systems that allow the right flow of people in the elevator so that it's not too crowded? I think that's our job, and this is going to be our core message. How do you create that environment in an elevator that people enjoy getting into? Even if it's for that 10-20 seconds. Can we have some lights? Can we have some music? Can we have some themes that are extremely important? Lots of things, Anita, without revealing too much on what we're going to showcase at your exhibition. I think there is, and it's our duty as well to ensure that people have peace of mind. So our innovation is towards, I'd say, three things. One is high degree of safety. Okay, ensuring that people are not worried at all. They see, I think today people see that if I have to get into a lift, if it's a Kone lift, I'm safe. Most people. Then also ensuring that the quality is really high. And third is the customer experience is very high, right? I'd also add to a few things about these 3 points. When I talk about safety, quality, and experience, it talks about the annual maintenance that we give. It talks about the IoT or the artificial intelligence that is used today in the world. So when I look at our elevators and escalators that we offer, we can connect them to 24/7 connected services, which can already predict if there's a failure going to happen. So we fix it even before the customer knows that there was something going to go wrong. A lot of people ask me that, I've had your elevators for a long time, and do I really need an AMC because it never fails? And I tell them it never fails because you never see it failing, because you already fixed the problem before it fails, because we've got today's technology, we've got Internet of Things that can predict things and we can fix them. So our elevators don't fail, not for, it's nothing to do with AMC. AMC only helps. The annual maintenance contract only helps because it's already fixed. And the customer, really what he needs is peace of mind. He doesn't want people to come and tell him, look, this is a problem and I'm going to fix it. He should not even see a problem. Okay, like when you're in a car, the best thing is there's no puncture in a tire, there's no failure, and you keep driving. So that's what we try and do, and we've been quite successful with a lot of innovations that we've given to our customers. Firstly, of course, as a key player, we have a lot of focus on quality and safety. So that, when you look at our private customers, they'd like to buy our brand, or they'd like to buy other multinational brands. But importantly, why they buy it is because they know it's going to add value to their building. They buy a Kone because it's going to add value to the building. These are the private customers who come. Now, when you come into a tender-like situation where there is heavy people movement, we might have those value-added features, but then it boils down to, getting the lowest price for a certain specs as a guideline which is given. I really do feel that some kind of other aspects need to be looked at. I don't know how it's done globally, so that the compliance is met, but also you get the best experience and people flow for a very heavy flow of people. That's one of the challenge we have with some of the tenders. And if you really have to have world-class products and services, you need to ensure that there is a process to take care of it. And we've got ideas. So, every industry's got their own ideas how to do it and how to make it more transparent and much better and better quality. The second thing in India particularly, safety is not something which is in the DNA of everybody. Culturally, we are changing. There are governments now pushing for very safe environments, whether it's road safety and other things. We do our own thing there as well. We also try and kind of help spread awareness on safety generally, not only on elevators, escalators, but in construction sites and other places. They should wear helmets, they should wear PPEs. But again, I'd say that there is a Lift Act in India. Most states don't follow it. I think it's very important for the industry. And now I'm talking on behalf of the industry, and all of our manufacturers would like to have it. But there should be a central Lift Act which should have some minimum specifications which are already there in the system that people adhere to, that manufacturers adhere to, so that there are no accidents. I'm not saying less accidents, I'm saying no accidents. Okay, that is important. And there can be failures in systems, there can be failures in machines, they're all mechanical. But it's important to restrict it as much as we can. And this Uniform Lift Act is going to help do it. This is the second challenge that we have. The third challenge is, of course, the sites, the readiness of the sites. Many a times the conditions of the site, they're not ready for a lot of things that they're incorporating, and that compromises on quality. So we need to have some norms where the sites are ready before you start, completing the building. So there is always a step. These are some of the challenges which are there. And I think most of them we've been able to meet quite nicely, but some of them are still working. No, I don't think so. The customers are very intelligent. Anita, we should say the customer actually know a lot of things already. I'm trying to bifurcate now here. So like I said, a lot of customers would buy a product like Kone brand because it adds value to their building and it gives them a better premium, better success because people know that this is a reliable product. Similarly, you have bathroom fittings, you have tiles, they buy everything world class. But I'm more talking about some of the processes that are there, particularly, let's say, a government tender, where you need to compete and you've got certain fixed value added features built into your system. Okay, which should be there. It should be as per Lift Act. It should be, we would not sell anything which doesn't meet the Lift Act, whether a state mandates it or not. We would still go as per the Lift Act, minimum specs required. Some may not. So I'm saying that when there is a buying process in the government, they need to have better transparency of the value added features that they need to ensure that there is safe movement of people, that the product continues to work for years together without being under maintenance for too long. That's my important part. So it's not really a price with value added features alone. It's how you specify, how you rate various products, services, brands, and then evaluate on what you need for your part of the, I'd say, infrastructure that you're trying to create. I think run for safety is a good concept because that's all about awareness. So, I think, like I mentioned, Anita, we would, as Kone, not only, like to lead our industry, but also generally any industry for safety because we are very safety conscious and safety comes first for us. So this run for safety is very important. It will showcase to everybody that safety is so important. And I think more and more of these marathons are helping not only from a perspective of health and raising awareness on how running is important or walking is important, but also from the message that you try and create from it. We will participate in a big way for sure in the run for safety. Anita, to tell you frankly, I think it's a very good initiative. It's celebrating success. It's also raising awareness on the success of what happens, on good projects and how it's done. So that award is good. It's recognition of the best practices in the industry. The important thing is to be neutral. The important thing is to be transparent on how the awards have been given and also explaining to the people on how their projects have helped the society as a whole. And I think if we can get this done, your award will be very successful in years to come. And there'll be, I'm sure it will be every year that we'll make it an annual affair. It is important that, this celebration of success is done jointly and you have a good panel that decides on who's won the award, whether it's a real estate project, a residential, or it's commercial. But I think it's good to recognize some such projects. Yeah, so firstly, of course, I'm the chairman of the division of elevators, escalators, not in its entirety. But, I think from our industry perspective, and I've got a lot of inputs through our meetings, through the industry, through all our manufacturers, who all want to ensure safety of people. Every manufacturer who's been there in our meetings, or even otherwise, tell me that we should do something about it because we should follow some norms. Now the manufacturers want to do it, right? The end user, of course, wants peace of mind. He wants to have safe vertical transportation. There is already a lift act in place in our standards. So these three things are already there. However, somehow what's missing, and this is important, what's missing is only 12 states following. So it's a state act. And it's not that the state governments don't want to follow. They're probably not even aware that their state doesn't follow a lift act, which is the minimum specifications that an elevator should have for safety. Right. So what it does is it actually also ensures that the technological competence of a lot of local manufacturers comes up and they do much better. It also keeps them happier because they also have a peace of mind when they produce an elevator as per the lift act. Companies like us, we always have our minimum standards. We actually much higher standards than the lift act itself because safety comes first for us. So that is extremely important. And I think the whole elevator and escalator industry are consultants for sure. They are wanting that the lift act should be one single common lift act across India. Like you've got emission standards for automobiles, it can't be a state subject, right? There has to be some minimum standard for emissions, that emissions cannot be over a certain limit. And that is important even for an important industry like real estate. It's extremely important that the real estate industry is safe, and for that elevators are safe and we have a uniform lift act.